Hello everyone, Dave here, welcome to the channel. In today's video I'm going to talk about how I got into recording. I've had a few people ask in the comments, say how did you first get into it, what was your journey? So I'm going to start with the bit before I actually started working at a studio, which is possibly the most interesting bit of all, because it's where I sort of got my passion for it, so to speak. So I was playing guitar from age of 10, and as one does, you know, you form a school band and you have friends and none of you can really play, but you want to hear yourself back. And I remember at one point thinking, I've got a tape deck and I've got a video player. What if I recorded myself onto the tape and then I played that to the video player, the audio input on the video player, and then I recorded it back to the tape, but then I played something down the right, and then I could use the pan pot to mix between the two channels on the tape and then bounce that back to the video and lay something else over it. And my solution to this was to get a bit of wood, knock in a load of nails, and then get all the bared wires off the phono outs of the video player and the tape player, and kind of twist them into little hooks that I could then put over the wires to kind of patch them with each other. I mean, please forgive me, I was 12, but I just became obsessed at the time by recording and seeing how many tracks I could do, and I could hear the degradation, and my dad clearly saw what I was doing and thought he probably needs something better, so he bought me a Tascam Porta 1, which was absolutely life-changing. I remember going out and buying the Type 4 tapes and some Type 2 tapes, but the Type 4 ones were posh. It just opened so many doors for me. I had a little keyboard that I could get the drum beats onto the first track of the 4-track, and then I could play a bass line with the keyboard onto the second track, and then I'd play either a couple of guitars or one guitar and one voice if I was recording my vocal, which certainly wasn't very good then. I mean, it's not great now, but it certainly wasn't then. But I used to have a little handheld mic that was probably pretending to be a 58 but wasn't, and that went into my guitar effects unit. I had a little what was it called, ME5? Yeah, I had a little ME5, a Boss multi-effects system that I had a compressor and distortion and delay and chorus, whatever, and I used to put my microphone into it and put the compressor on, and I didn't know even what a compressor was, but I thought that always sounds nice, it always keeps it present. So I would record my vocals with a handheld mic through my guitar effects processor into the 4-track, and then when I'd do a mix, I would mix that to another tape deck, and I'd do it via my guitar effects processor. I mean, again, I was probably about 13 at the time, but I'd go into my guitar effects processor and come out left and right into the tape, and because the 4 channels that I'd recorded, I didn't really want to pan guitar one side and bass the other side, they were all down the center. I just used to put on a chorus to make it sound stereo and record it back to a tape, you know, just another cassette tape on my dad's hi-fi tape deck. And I remember my dad paying me £30 to do a demo tape. He said, at least like 10 covers or whatever. He said, I want to give it to my friends at work and show how good you are. And it was school holidays, and I think I ended up doing like 16 or 17 songs, and it was a whole vast range, and I have no idea where that tape is, and I hope it never sees the light of day, because I was about 13. But you know, I went through the process, and I think that's the important thing, is I started something and I finished something. You know, I put drums down, I put bass down, I played guitar, sometimes I play keyboards, and then I'd bounce that to the tape, sometimes put that tape back in my 4-track, you know, take the Dolby off, and then I'd record vocals and maybe a bit of lead guitar on the other 2 tracks. And you can't learn any other way unless you just go through the process and do something from start to finish, even if it's not really working. Finish it off and learn from what you've done. And I did so much of that through my teenage years. And before I get to doing anything in the studio, which I'll do in another video, I remember one summer holiday we hired some equipment. I got some ADAT units, and I already had at that point, for gigging, I had like this Studio Master 16 channel desk, and we had 2 ADAT machines, and we recorded an album in the summer at my mum and dad's house, sort of in my bedroom, and using the spare room as a vocal booth, and the bathroom was a guitar amp room during the day, and it had a really nice reverb on it. But we recorded I think a couple of albums over summer holidays, or maybe one in the summer and one the next Easter on these ADATs. And again, it was going through the whole process start to finish, and they sound absolutely awful. I understood what it was like. There were things to solve. It was like, right, I listened back and the cymbals suddenly stand out, and you know, the voice isn't quite sitting in there, and the guitars are a bit much, and you'd listen back and you think, right, next time I need a couple of compressors and I need this, I can't use my guitar effects for that or whatever. And it taught me so much, and that's kind of how I got into recording. And then one day we went to a recording studio to do a demo, and after we'd done all the tracking and we were mixing, I kind of nudged the guy out the way and went, it's all right, I'll mix it and I'll do it. And he was quite impressed, and lo and behold, many years later I ended up working there, then owning the place. And in my first year or so of working at that studio, I ended up recording Phil Collins, I think at the age of 20. So I'll tell you that story in the next bloggy video. Until then, thanks for watching. Please subscribe, please like, please share. Leave us a comment. If you've got any questions, I will answer them. See you later.